Now available in paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, A Thorn in My Side. The man who rules the world takes on an agent from the CIA from the Black Boule in this all-new John Haynes series adventure. Get your copy of John Haynes' A Thorn in My Side in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers everywhere. A white man who was traveling abroad to England to study film was convicted of allegedly murdering his girlfriend after she demanded he get tested for STDs.
The trial of Joshua Mickles, a student from Goldsmiths, University of London, has drawn significant attention due to the shocking details surrounding the murder of his partner, Jay Wang. On the night of March 20th, 2024, Mickles, a 25-year-old cinematography student, allegedly killed 31-year-old Wang in her bedroom in Lewisham. Wang, who was studying for a master's degree in creative writing and education, was found face up on the floor with stab wounds to her face and evidence of strangulation. Prosecutors have described the attack as brutal and savage, leaving the community and her loved ones in shock. The court heard that Mickles and Wang had been in a relationship for a few months, but their connection had become strained. WhatsApp messages recovered from Michael's phone revealed rising tensions. Wang had been urging Mickles to take an STI test after noticing a rash on her body following intercourse, a demand that reportedly caused conflict. The prosecution argued that these tensions, along with Wang's threats to involve the university, may have contributed to Mickles' violent outburst. On the night of the murder, CCTV evidence showed Mickles arriving at Wang's flat in an Uber at 7:17 p.m. and leaving less than an hour later. It wasn't until 3 hours after the attack that Mickles called emergency services, claiming there had been a knife incident. He initially told the operator he wasn't at the scene and later stated it was too late to save Wang. During the time between leaving the flat and calling for help, Mickles reportedly contacted his father to obtain legal advice and disposed of evidence, including blood-stained clothing and a rucksack. A handwritten note with solicitor details was also found in his home. Wang, described as a gentle and organized person with aspirations of completing a PhD and returning to China to teach, was deeply admired by her peers and tutors. Her death has devastated her family and the Goldsmiths community.
Now, in this alleged incident that took place in 2024, Joshua Mickles, a white man from Chicago, was traveling abroad to study film at Goldsmiths University of London. And as he was attending Goldsmiths University of London, he ran into 31-year-old master's student Ji Wang and had started to have a casual relationship with this woman. Now, as he was getting to know this woman, he soon learned that this woman was a germaphobe, and this germaphobe basically was so afraid of germs, she basically strung this man along as he was looking to try to get a sexual relationship with her. Now, as he was trying to have this sexual relationship with her, he basically waited for this woman for several months and then eventually did have a sexual relationship with this woman. And after having that sexual relationship with this woman, what happened with Ji Wang is that she wound up with a rash on her thigh that she wound up believing was a venereal disease, but was possibly a reaction to a morning after pill that she possibly took as related to her relationship with Joshua Mickles. Now, as Ji Wang was starting to react to this possible venereal disease that she thought she had, she then demanded that Joshua Mickles go out and get a test for STDs, and Joshua Mickles did go out and get a test for STDs. However, she wasn't moving fast enough for her, and that's when she threatened to go to authorities regarding their relationship. And as she went to look to try to go after Joshua Michaels as related to this relationship, she then demanded to have a confrontation at her apartment where she looked to confront him regarding the possible venereal disease that she believes that Joshua Michaels gave her. And according to reports, this is where Joshua Michaels alleges that Ji Wang allegedly possibly attacked him with a knife, which led him to go out here and possibly attack her back with a knife, stabbing her several times. And then after stabbing her several times, as he claims in self-defense, then he wound up not looking to call 911 to get this woman, Ji Wang, any help. No, what he did was call his father, and called his father in the hopes of getting a lawyer to defend himself. Now, after his father called the lawyer, this is where the case led to them doing, and eventually the police coming, and eventually arresting Joshua Michaels, and again eventually charging him with murder. And that case was taken to trial, and as it was taken to trial, Joshua Michaels was recently convicted of murder in the case of Ji Wang, and that's where the case is at this point, while Joshua Michaels is currently in custody. Now, the police in England see this as an isolated incident, but when I take a critical examination of the whole case of Joshua Michaels, it definitely fits the pattern and profile for beta males that I talk about in my book, The Man Crisis, and it also fits the pattern and profile of simps that I talk about in my book, Stop Simping, Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance. And it's clear to me that Joshua Michaels was a young man who clearly didn't know much about women. No, he didn't know much about women as he got involved with the older Ji Wang. And as he got involved with this older woman who clearly had some issues, he didn't understand that when it comes down to certain women, you have to charge them to the game and keep it moving before you wind up getting yourself into a situation you can't get out of. Now, with the whole situation with Joshua Michaels that basically led to him getting jammed up was the fact that he got involved with this woman who basically was having this issue with germophobia, and that should have been reason enough for him to charge this woman to the game and not look to consider pursuing a relationship with her. Now, I'm not really speaking against germaphobes, but this woman again clearly had some issues that were beyond Joshua Michaels' understanding, and had he understood how to deal with women, he wouldn't have gotten involved with this woman. No, he wouldn't have gotten involved with this woman at all. And had he had a little bit more seasoning, he would have basically left this woman alone, because this woman basically, again, was having issues beyond his understanding and was not somebody he could possibly, again, be able to have any sort of relationship with, because she basically was just too afraid of germs to be able to connect with a person. Now, Joshua Michaels didn't understand this and still continued to go on to have this relationship with this deeply troubled woman, a deeply troubled woman who was so afraid of germs that she couldn't even get close to this man, and basically kept him strung along for several months and didn't want to again have a sexual relationship with a man, which should have been a red flag for Joshua Michaels, because usually when a woman is interested in a guy, she's basically again ready to go out here and drop those panties and ready to go out here and have sex with that man as soon as possible. She's looking to go out here and secure that man and basically look to get closer to that man as soon as possible. However, when you have a woman who again is hesitating as related to a relationship, that shows that that woman again is somebody who's dealing with either issues that are beyond your ability to deal with, or she's basically got some other dude on the side. And again, a seasoned man would have been able to figure out the red flags as related to that woman, but this 26-year-old man who basically was traveling abroad was traveling abroad extremely inexperienced as related to life and thought he would possibly get some experience abroad, but he didn't have enough seasoning to understand how things worked as related to women, and that's where he again wound up jamming himself up real bad with this woman and looking to continue to try to work things out with this woman, which is what many simps go out here and do. A lot of simps, when they see a woman being extremely difficult or having serious issues, they will sit there and try to work things out with that woman, not thinking that this woman will be able to improve. However, when it comes down to women and their issues, this is far beyond your ability to deal with whatsoever. It's far beyond your ability to deal with whatsoever. And again, goes back to my philosophy of as is. As you find her, this is who she will be. And as you find her, this is what you're going to have to deal with. And again, if she's showing you signs that she's basically, again, seriously broken and damaged, this is where the smart man basically disengages. He basically disengages because he understands, again, this woman's issues are beyond his ability to deal with as related to a relationship, and he lets that woman go on about her business. That should have been something this guy should have figured out. Again, if a woman is 31 years old and she's still out here, again, she's out here for a reason, but dude didn't figure that out. And because he didn't figure it out, he basically got into it with a woman as related to trying to, again, get the draws. And as he got her to drop the skid mark jockey thong, eventually, after getting a taste of the atomic waste from the special place, what happened to Joshua Michaels is that this woman basically wound up creating a lot of drama for this man as related to this sexual encounter, saying that this man basically gave her a venereal disease after she got a rash and demanded that he take a test for venereal diseases or STIs, and that's where this man's life was starting to be made a living Hades. It was made a living Hades because this woman basically escalated things into drama, and as she escalated things into drama, she possibly was continuing to go back and forth with this man, making more and more unrealistic demands, as related to him giving her the results of this STI test. And that's where she went out here and escalated things and got this man scared. And as she got this man scared, looking to possibly, according to some reports, threaten to go to authorities at the school, that's where this man, Joshua Michaels, started to get scared because he was traveling abroad and he had no other man to counsel him. And because he had no other man to counsel him, he basically believed what this woman was saying about looking to do things to make his life harder. And basically that's where he made his biggest mistake, because any smart man would have understood, okay, this woman wants to go out here and make drama about this STI test, and would have basically given her the STI test, and then also would have gone out here and then call for their lawyer, as this woman was making threats, and then go out here to the school and let them know what was going on, because the school themselves, if they knew what was going on with this woman, they would have let her know that she had no legal recourse because the relationship was consensual and the sexual encounter she had with this man was consensual. And if the tests basically are saying nothing was there, then there was nothing there whatsoever. And again, this whole encounter would have been shut down, and this dude would have just basically gotten out of this learning a hard lesson about dealing with deeply troubled women. He would have learned a lesson about dealing with deeply troubled women, and basically understanding that the minute you hear certain things like germaphobe or about this woman being 31 years old, that would have been, again, indicators to him to charge that woman to the game and, again, keep it pushing. But this guy basically just, again, because he was scared of this woman, basically fell into a trap that this woman was looking to set for him. And as she, again, escalated this situation, again, looking to possibly argue with this man, and create drama. And as she created that drama, she basically, again, possibly, according to some reports, I don't really have all the evidence, again, she possibly attacked this man, according to some reports. And eventually what happened was this man possibly then fought back, and eventually what happened was this woman wound up being stabbed. And that's where Joshua Michaels made his third mistake in calling his father, because this guy basically was really green and didn't know anything about how to deal with life. No, his mistake was going to that house in the first place, going to that house, arguing with that woman, because you can't win an argument with a woman because they're masters of oral combat. And because they're masters of oral combat, the more you talk to that woman, the more she's gonna, again, just continue to go around in circles because women are emotional. And because the woman is emotional, she's just going to, again, make you frustrated, make you angry. And that's where Joshua Michaels possibly was. He got angry, and then, again, as he was trying to, again, possibly defend himself, according to himself, basically wound up stabbing this woman. And after stabbing this woman, he made the gravest mistake by not calling 911, because he possibly thought, oh, I'll call my father and my father will help get me out of this. But Dad can't get you out of something that you get yourself in, because you really don't understand how things work. No, when it comes down to young men, they need to be taught how to, again, be able to socialize with women, and they need to be taught at a very early age, because a lot of times out here, if you don't know what you're doing, you can get involved with the wrong woman. And that's sadly what happened here to Joshua Michaels. He got involved with the wrong woman. And as he got involved with this wrong woman, who he didn't look at the red flags like a seasoned man would. Now, a seasoned man like myself would look at the red flags. Okay, we got a 31-year-old woman who basically, again, going for a master's degree, but ain't got no man. Again, women who at that age basically got themselves a man, and they're already committed to a man at that point. If they're not committed at that point, there's possibly something wrong with that chick. And also, when it comes down to women, again, if she's saying she's got issues like germaphobe, again, this is a situation that's not going to get better. No, if she's got issues like this is a thing that tells you, okay, I'll be nice to this woman, but I'm not looking to get involved with this woman. No, not looking to get involved with this woman at all, who basically had power issues and basically was feeling angry because she had to submit to give this man sex. And after giving this man sex, she was feeling really bad about it. And this is where she wanted to escalate things into this drama. And that's what led to this guy going from being a free man who was traveling abroad, to now being a convicted felon who is now on his way to the British penitentiary and will possibly be spending the rest of his life there, with the British versions of Bubba, Tiny, Roscoe, Big Dave, Melvin, and Mr. Sprinkles, or Mr. Clotted, Mr. Scones, and possibly be traded for the British version of Little Debbie snack cakes, Raymond noodles, packets of Crystal Light lemonade, packets of Crystal Light tea, Taster's Choice coffee, Keef coffee, off-brand lemon lime drink, off-brand grape drink, off-brand orange drink, off-brand kiwi strawberry drink, off-brand mango drink, off-brand apple juice, off-brand Oreo cookies, off-brand duplex cookies, off-brand vanilla wafers, off-brand ginger snaps, Hunt's snack pack puddings, Fritos chips, hot flamin' Cheetos, Doritos chips, packets of soy sauce, packets of sriracha sauce, Velveeta cheese packets, and beef jerky with cheese, beef jerky with mozzarella cheese, beef summer sausage, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pies, and honey buns. Dude will be inside of the penitentiary being traded for all of the items of the commissary and possibly will be the subject of a cell phone video and possibly will be shot with Bubba, Tiny, Roscoe, Big Dave, Melvin, and Mr. Sprinkles going out here participating in a spit roast where they fill the front side and the back side as they turn the tight end into a wide receiver, and eventually Mr. Sprinkles will go out here and film the wide shot after he goes out here and fills the front side and the back side with special sauce, and they will possibly go out here and get a close-up of that backside as they call all the inmates from cell block D to check out this dude's backside, as it's shown looking like the inside circle of a Louisiana crunch cake. And sadly, this case is a tragic one because it's all happened because this guy, again, became a man in crisis because he didn't understand the basics of male life skills and male survival skills as related to socializing with women, and that was even in the case of having, even with a father in his life. Sadly, again, with beta male fathers, they don't teach their sons the male life skills and male survival skills that they need, and one of the male life skills and male survival skills you need before you go out into the world is to know how to deal with women. This is something that many fathers take for granted these days. They don't teach their sons about women and teach them about what type of women to get involved with. I mean, this is what gets a lot of guys jammed up because they're coming into this game green, and because they come into the game green, what happens is that they run into troubled or toxic women, and those troubled and toxic women basically jam those guys up because they see them as an easy mark or an easy target, and or these women have serious issues that again are beyond this guy's ability to deal with, and again because he doesn't have that understanding what a good woman is or how to read a woman. What happens is that man goes out into the world and travels abroad and goes from being a man doing things like studying for his purpose like this guy was doing. This guy was studying film, but now he's basically again now in a place where he's going to be studying in a penitentiary, and again he went from a free man to a man in crisis. And this was again another warning for you passport bros about going overseas to deal with women. Again, you might not, when it comes down, if you don't know what you're doing, you can get involved with the wrong woman. You can get involved with the wrong woman with serious issues, and you could go from easily being a free man who's just traveling abroad to winding up a man in crisis who's dealing with possibly being locked up for the rest of your life. Now, if you want to learn how to identify the behavior of deeply troubled or toxic women so that you can avoid them and not wind up like Joshua Michaels, you can pick up my book, Stop Simping, Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance, on Amazon.com. And that book will teach you how to identify female predators in life and teach you how to avoid these female predators and not get involved with them. And if you also want to learn how to identify the behavior of beta males so that you can help someone in your life, you can also pick up my book, The Man Crisis, on Amazon.com as well. And both of these books are also available at other online booksellers like Draft the Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, and big box retailers like Walmart and Target, and possibly could save your life and keep you from winding up in a situation that basically winds up destroying your life. Sadly, what happened to this young man. And if you want to see me do more videos talking about the man crisis going on in this country, you can drop a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the link in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.
Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited, The Man Crisis. Learn why so many men are struggling to find their way in an increasingly gynocentric world in The Man Crisis. Get your copy of The Man Crisis in paperback and Kindle Unlimited today.
Now available in paperback and e-readers, A Steam Horror in the Hamptons. The aspiring angel tries to escape a house of horrors in this action-packed, all-new Esteem series adventure. Get your copy of Esteem Horror in the Hamptons in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers everywhere. Now available in paperback and e-readers, Esteem Season of the Witch Girl. The aspiring angel takes on a wicked teenage witch in this action-packed, all-new Esteem series adventure. Pick up your copy of Esteem Season of the Witch Girl in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers today. Now available in paperback and e-readers, Isis Dark Incubus. The goddess next door gets enthralled in a romantic entanglement with an evil incubus in this all-new Isis series adventure. Get your copy of Isis Dark Incubus in paperback and e-readers today. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.